Mates, brothers, and other ocean goers, welcome to the Cretonians to 1000 series first episode, where I will be showing you how to go from your first 10 population to your first 100, securing food and the basic build order for the Cretonians. So the basic build order is pretty much the same as in the guide that I made beforehand. So right now I'm taking stock of what we have and prioritizing the hearth. So the hearth first, so that your people don't freeze to death, and then a well so that they can wash themselves. As you can see in the background on the top right there, they're really struggling to build that farm. Like, it's taking them a decent time, a decent while. And we'll just speed through this, so yeah, I'm not boring you guys. And then deciding what to build next. Now, I actually make a mistake here. So the food stall is really important, but I could also make a speaker or a house, right? Like, both of those pretty important. But I would say the food stall is not a bad choice. Especially since Cretonians really like eating food. It fulfills a lot of their fulfillment. Like working in a food stall and then, yeah, and eating. And right now, hopefully I wasn't up, yeah. And I realized that, yeah, this fruit farm is going to not be built in time. So I decided to just suck it up and follow the initial build order, which is making this fishery here so that my people don't starve to death, okay? Like, I know the Cretonians are like vegetarian. I don't care, okay? Like, ideals are secondary to survival, okay? Like, but you can really see the effect of having to chop down the trees there, and it's taking a long time. So anyway, I build this market, but I don't realize that it needs furniture, right? So that was a bit of a blunder as well. And right now, I'm trying to decide where to put the housing. Because ideally, you put the housing... Actually, it's the wrong way around. Ideally, you put services near housing. But obviously, we built the services before the housing, right? So I'm just trying to figure out... Yeah, I'm just expanding the grid here so we know approximate confines of where to go. I think I don't figure it out until later. I just give up. Let me just clear those roads down there. So they partially build the market, and then yeah, it doesn't get built. So I'm clicking the longhouse, and I decided to make it out of wood because the only people that like wooden buildings are Amevias. No, wooden, not wooden. The only people that like mud buildings are Amevias. So Cretonians and Tilapis both like wooden buildings. I think Dendorians, humans, yeah, they like stone. But obviously, oh, and Garthemes as well. But Garthemes and Dendorians both prefer to just be under a mountain. And now here I decide I should probably build a carpenter somewhere because I see that the market isn't being built, right? It's like... And we also need furniture for a lot of things. Now, even though Cretonians are complete balls at, you know, anything crafting-wise, I think they're fine at refining. Yeah, they're fine at refining, but they're complete garbage at, crafting, like furniture, paper making. There's a lot of things that go into crafting, yeah. Here I'm trying to make a round building because that's what Cretonians like, and I end up making this potion bottle looking building here. It's 10 employees. And we come up with a somewhat decent design, I think, by the end of it all. Obviously, this pales in comparison to the efficiency of square buildings, right? Rectangular buildings. But one could argue that it looks, you know, it doesn't look bad. Yeah, especially if we round the... Yeah, make it diagonal like that. Now, let me know if you guys want me to turn off the weather again. I turned it on, I was feeling somewhat nostalgic, but I think I end up turning it off later on because it's actually just really annoying. Just the lightning flashes. Hopefully, none of my viewers have epilepsy, because otherwise, like they'd be gone right now. Like, yeah, it's triggered by light flashes. I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's not funny. All right, so next order of business, I build a warehouse. Now, the reason you need to build a warehouse is because you see on the right there, it doesn't actually say that I have anything stored. And that's because, yeah, you need a warehouse for your people to be aware of what you're housing. Right, so... And the design is sort of... It's like round buildings. If you build round buildings, they're not going to be the most efficient, okay? At least, not if I do it. But it serves our purposes just well, yeah. And that's pretty much the philosophy of how I'm going to build in the city here. I'm just going to build the buildings however, like, it doesn't matter to me. And once I build a building, I'm just going to copy it over and over. Unless I want to make a bit larger, yeah, larger size. So, I had to increase the radius there. I don't know if you call it that. That's really important because if it's out of the radius, then they don't actually pick up... They don't pick up the goods that you tell them to. So you need to increase the radius, and then you need to send at least one person to work in a warehouse. Yeah, for them to actually grab everything. And I realized, I don't know if you call it that, but the food indicator, top left, it says 3 days. So I checked it, because I increased my population. And yeah, we would starve ourselves because our food consumption was higher than our food production. So I decided to make another fishery here using the... Is that like the draw tool? The draw brush? Yeah. Just to get us a bit more fish. Yeah, there we go. I'm literally pointing it out because the consumption rate is 10, minus 10. We're producing 6. Like, that's... that's like almost double the production, so we need to fix that, otherwise we're gonna starve to death. And there's a food guide on coming up someday. Look at that. The food production is now 11, pretty much. So we're somewhat stable. And I realize, yeah, this fruit farm isn't going anywhere. I'm just gonna replace it with grain, since we actually have grain. Yeah, and I'm just filling it in like so. I think it's almost perfect as well. Yeah, that's pretty good. I got all of the super high fertile tiles. And it was just enough grain. Yeah. So look how much quicker it gets built. And now looking at this, I'm like, oh crap, my buildings look a bit grimy, right? And that's because they're degrading, and I don't have someone to maintain the buildings. So I decided to make a janitor over here. I don't remember what the design looks like. Oh yeah, there we go. When you design round buildings, you just there's a way to do it to have everything look blocky but still have the roundness effect, but I feel like this is just better. If you're playing as the Cretonians, you may as well build your buildings whatever shape, right? Same with... Actually, Tilapis, I feel like Tilapis would have a bit more structure to them, maybe? I don't know. Maybe Tilapis would be even more organic because they like living in forests, yeah. Well, I don't know, it's just a game, so... You can do whatever you want, right? Like, you could completely make square buildings for Cretonians as well. Anyway, there's another thing. There's another building that completely goes against their ideals. I'm building a hunter. I almost said janitor. I'm building a hunter. I guess you're cleaning up the map from animals. But anyway, this building here, the hunter, is absolutely broken in the early game. It provides so much meat for like his little people. And what did I do? Oh, okay. Yeah, I was pointing out that there was a gap between the houses. Yeah, whoops. The hunters, yeah, they provide a lot of meat per worker, and you really need worker efficiency in this early game. Because obviously, you don't have too many. And right now, I'm doing something nice. Like, this is... It's somewhat necessary, but basically, Cretonians get a boost to happiness when... Yeah, there we go. We got Emir unlocked laboratories. And I'm looking at services, but basically, real quick. Oh yeah, the speaker. I forgot. Yeah, I just realized there after checking the services. Cretonians like being surrounded by harmony, and trees radiate harmony. So you want to spread those out. And right now, I'm looking at it. All the services there. I'm pretty sure I've got all the basic services. I'm just missing the lavatory, the toilet, right? Pretty much. The toilet. So I don't know where the people have been pooping, I guess in the river. Just digging a hole, maybe. That's kind of gross. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I wasn't happy with the shape, so I decided, yeah, let's do this. And I'm just really not caring about the shape. I wonder how many people are getting triggered right now about the shape of the buildings. Yeah, I don't know. Because usually I make grids, right? Like pure grids, and then all those buildings are square. But this series, I decided I just want to make whatever the buildings look like, whatever the... Just let the game guide my hand, you know. And it's yeah, this is what you're getting. So hopefully, eventually, it looks like somewhat possible. I think it ends up looking alright. Yeah, I think it does. It'll look even better once we have all the roads and stuff in between, not the dirt roads. The dirt roads, like, yeah. The dirt roads are nasty. What am I doing here? I'm looking around this, and I'm like, I remember telling myself, I'm like, oh, what? Why is the... How's the toilet not round? Like, hello? I go into it, I'm like, let's try to... And then I give up. I just end up copying a wooden wall and just placing it on the outside of the entrances. Yeah, like that. And doing that, actually, it gives us the roundness. Yeah, look at that. And it's not like every single building of yours has to be round. It just needs to be the vast majority of where they walk past. Yeah, etc, etc. Here, I'm trying to remove the throne. Because this is purely cosmetic. Aesthetic. Yeah. I think I messed it up a few times, but yeah, we're trying to we're trying to show everything step by step. So what I'm doing wrong here is I've set the draw tool to try to build a building, right? But what you need is like an ellipse tool, or like, yeah, like that. Because if you're drawing a room, it's just drawing the walls instead of the ceiling, right? Because you're not expanding the room. You're just... If that makes sense, like... I'm not sure how to explain it, yeah, but... That's pretty much what's happening. So you have to switch it to a different tool if you want to actually build it properly. And I'm just trying to design something for the throne to fit in, because it's a 3x5 or something, right? And that should be enough. You have to wait for it to build. So some people make the mistake of, yeah, not building the structure first and then trying to build around the throne. and then the throne ends up without a ceiling over it. Yeah, so as you can see that my throne there is like inside a building, right? But this is actually like not well known to say. Yeah, it's not very well known that you can actually put a building indoor. Sorry, not a building. You can actually put the throne indoors. Maybe I should put that in a guide. Yeah, I probably should. Setting up the grain warehouse, and then I'm deciding to build another one because that one's already full, pretty much. What's this? A carpenter? Oh, okay. So I copy the carpenter over, and I remove it, and then I'm gonna build a bakery. Yeah, a bakery inside its walls, so that they have the same design. But I think it ends up terribly. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't look too effective, so I decided to remake it completely from scratch again. Or something like that, along those lines. Your main goal of these workshops and all that is to make put in as many ovens or production things in there as you can, right? As many people can work in there as possible, but you also need to have it. I guess you don't need to, but it'd be nice to have it at 100% efficiency, so you're not wasting space, etc. Yeah, I think the design for this ends up really, really odd. But this goes to show that you can pretty much make whatever shape buildings you want. You don't have to stick with the super uniform, boring style that I usually do, right? The good thing about my boring style, though, is that I can save the blueprints, move on to another city, and then just, you know, build it super quickly from scratch. Wait, I think I just completely clicked off there. But yeah, I reached 40 population. That unlocks trade, I'm pretty sure, yeah. And as you can see, I just build housing as necessary. But now I'm deciding, I'm sick of having to click to tell people to chop down trees. I may as well build a woodcutter. And I'm pretty sure woodcutters got reworked or buffed or something recently, so that they actually produce a reasonable amount of wood, meaning they're actually worth your population these days. And here we go, my neighbor is willing to give me a bunch of mushrooms. This goes on the right there, somewhat stronger than the ones on my left. And I'm looking to see if I can secure trade with them, but not yet, because I don't have enough funds there. You see, like, it was negative, it was like red. It means I don't have enough value to convince them to trade with me. Because you need to like, what did a commenter say? A commenter said you needed to like bribe them pretty much to get a trade agreement with them. And it kind of makes sense, like, if a nation doesn't have the wealth to give you this stuff, in terms of just raw goods, like, can they really trade with you? Is it really worth your time, you know? At least I think that's the thought process behind it. Because, like, what am I trying to say? So in these times, everything had to be moved by cart, right? So it's like, you really waste your time going to this backwater if they didn't have anything to trade with you. Right? Now I'm just making another grain farm here. Because I think I saw that we didn't have enough grain. Yeah. What is bakery? But also the bakery has What am I saying? Yeah, a wood. Bakery has a wood upkeep, and as you saw there, I was fulfilling that as well as the carpenter, yeah. With just a one wood cutter. It was enough for both of the things. I think I end up needing a lot more. Because that woodcutter area was tiny. Like, it's actually like negligible, right? It's these I feel like these first episodes are gonna be the same pretty much for all of them. All of the species. Actually, no, it would be different. Because Dendorians and Garthemians, they liked living indoors. Okay, here we go. My other neighbor wants to give me leather. I'm trying to decide. I think I just accept it. It's just freebie. It's just a freebie, right? I'm looking at this, yeah. May as well store the leather so we can actually sell it. And then we're gonna need another warehouse because our stuff's already full. By the way, all the stuff I designated to forage, I didn't think I ever saw anybody actually actually harvest them. Oh, we're seeing them right now, actually. Yeah, they're harvesting that grain. I guess I neglected to actually provide a storage space for it, so they weren't actually actively doing it. There we go. We have a second storage warehouse. And they're actually, I feel like these storage warehouses are kind of dookie. They're kind of terrible. Hopefully we fix that soon. Yeah, I might just make a giant silo. If you guys have been following this channel for a decent while, you guys have already seen the silos that I made, right? The big grain silos. We'll probably need them. Because, yeah, food, farming, all that stuff is high volume. It's low value, high volume. Right, like every piece of grain, every piece of cotton, every piece of fruit, vegetables. We're gonna be farming it up. This isn't only farms, but like this is what Cretonians are good for. And I don't know if you caught that, but we have 71 food production with only 35 food consumption. Now here, this Empire of Nia, I declined this offer. And that was actually somewhat of a blunder. But I still think it's probably the better idea. Because if you take slaves, it's gonna piss off these people because of your treatment of their kin. And it's gonna, and doing that lowers their opinion of you. Meaning you'll have worse prices to convince them and stuff. So I decided against it, even though I could have kept them and then immediately gotten rid of them to get the money. I don't know which one's better. Probably it would have been better to get them, immediately sell them, get the money, and then it wouldn't be, yeah, it wouldn't have been that bad. But anyway, we're gonna get this trade deal with our western neighbor, so that's fine. It was fine with me. I sort of grit my teeth at that moment though. I was like, oh, how dare I? And like, we're at 80 population right now. We have 22 idle people. 22 super idols, like, come on bro. There's a lot of room for efficiency in this, yeah. Yeah, wait, what? I think I set up auto, yeah. I did. I set it to auto immigrate to 100 population, which is kind of, that's risky, dude. You guys should not set auto immigration. You just do it manually if this is your first time playing, because otherwise you'll probably forget to increase your food production and then just starve yourselves to death. It's not good. And right now I'm just building a bunch of roads. Not necessarily for aesthetics, because dirt roads are, you know, terrible. It's just to help people get around, and eventually we'll replace these roads with something better. We have to research it first. And as you can see there, I took a look again. You need to make this habit of just checking your food days and your food production and all that. Because it's the most important thing, is like... Because if your people starve, what tends to happen is... if they've been starving for too long, and people end up dying, they just cannibalize the dead corpses, and then you get this massive cannibalism penalty. You get really mad that happened, and it stays for a couple of in-game years. It's really not. It's not good. The only people like that don't care about that is Garthemes and Talabis, because I don't know, they're metal, I guess. It's kind of metal. Now, right now, I'm checking my services. I'm like, oh, I've expanded my population a bit, and by a bit, it's like that's a lot of pop that just increased, right? So, if you hover over a service, it'll tell you it's a load, and I saw that it was 100% for the services. So I decided to go ahead and, you know, build a few more, especially food stalls. Cretonians love food stalls. On the trees, yep. And then the roads. Oh man, I can't wait to have better roads. The dirt roads are just... not it. Now just, yeah, I have this little strange thing going on with my buildings, is that some of their corners don't get built if I copy the design over. It's kind of really annoying, and I don't know what the fix is. I think the fix is just to... Actually, it happens with square buildings as well. Yeah, so I don't know what causes it, and I don't know how to fix it. Probably just make a blueprint. Yeah. Probably make a blueprint and use the blueprint instead of just copying it over. It's not a big deal. Well, once you get to the late game or something, when you have massive buildings and they're missing a couple doors or something, a couple walls, yeah, that gets kind of annoying. Just so you're aware. And I've run out of wood, so I'm like, okay, I'm not keeping up with the... whatchamacallit? The consumption. Decided to make another woodcutter down here. I think it's enough wood, and I needed to chop down some trees in the meantime. Yeah, 92 population though. How long has it been? It's been about half an hour, I think, in actual time. So okay, so this gameplay, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's been sped up by like 20%. But in actual time, it's been like 34 minutes real time. And 95 population in 34 minutes. I think you can easily beat that, guys. If you have an idea of what to do beforehand, you can easily beat that. Problem here is that I didn't have, like, I just had a general idea of what I was doing, but I wasn't really following it. So I'm still playing off instinct pretty much. I'm like, yeah, let me take a look at this, and then that, and then this. Like, I didn't have it fully written out, like, I have to do this pop, this and that pop. It's probably fine. It allows me to be a bit more, well, a lot more adaptive. Right, because not everything goes to plan. And you know what? There's something nice about organically building a city like this. And not caring about what the buildings look like. Yeah, as long as I copy the designs over, it looks like there's some sort of sense to it, right? There's some sort of order. Like I have little prefabs, and this is pretty much the design philosophy, I guess, behind this settlement. It's just to build however I want within the grids, within the blocks of the grids. So there's gonna be square roads, square blocks of roads on the outside, but in the inside of the squares, it's whatever. Does that make sense? I don't know how that's gonna end up by the end of this all, but surely it's fine. I just need 5 more pop. I wonder what's going on. I was producing, yeah, way too much grain relative to the bread there. The grain consumption. I had to make another bakery for that reason. And, like, I have food security, guys. Like, I'm producing all sorts of food. Like, I've been trash talking Cretonians, but they produce food just fine. I get sick of the lightning there, I just turn it off. I think I'm checking the sound because I don't really hear anything over Taylor Swift. Was it Taylor Swift or Katy Perry? I don't know, I was listening to Spotify. I was getting ear blasted. I was like, oh, I can't hear anything. Is it a recording making any noise? Yeah, it turns out yes. The volume is up. And this is, I don't know, man. I don't know what other people's first 100 population city looks like. I feel like this looks, yeah, pretty good. And the fact that I'm not caring about what I build inside the grids, I think that's really going to help the aesthetics of the city to make it not look completely monotone, right? Even though they're the exact same building designs every single time, right? I'm just copying the design over and over again. It's not gonna look the same throughout the whole city. I can tell you that much. We're just building it as we go. Yeah, I really wonder what you guys think about this design philosophy. This is completely different. Like, I've been saying over and over again, oh, I want to build a bit more organically. I want to build blah blah blah. I tried that. And it ends up terrible. So then this time, I'm actually doing it. I'm making this mass grave because I'm like, I checked before, but some corpses were piling up because someone died. And now that I've built this mass grave, right, I'm dumping the corpses in there. And I don't know if you noticed, but people are finally immigrating into my city. Because, you know, their dead friends aren't just rotting in the street anymore. Like, 98. And there you go, 100 population. Is that pretty much it for the recording here? I think I'm just taking a look. We got 100 citizens. Yeah, I think I'm just recapping. Like, we're still super obscure, so we're not gonna get raided anytime soon. But look at that, 22 food days. I think I'm just taking a look as well. I'm just like, oh, look at this, guys. I'm so proud of myself. Oh, let me take a screenshot for the thumbnail. Super screenshot. Bam. And that's it. That's pretty much it. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. You know, there could be worse designs for this settlement. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching this first episode of Cretonians to 1000. If you would like to support me and join these lovely and generous people here, feel free to become a member of Oceania And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Consider subscribing for, yeah, the future episodes. I think this is going to be a fruitful series. I honestly really like dubbing over this and just watching it back and dubbing over it. There's something funny. Funny? There's something fun about it. Yeah. Anyways, bye. Authorized by Ocean Man of Oceania.